Hello, 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 and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Industrial Packaging Podcast with me, your host, Nathan Dube, Digital Marketing Specialist at Industrial Packaging. On today's episode, we will be covering the topic of troubleshooting shrink wrap and equipment problems. So without further ado, let's get down to business. Whether you're in the food service or consumer packaged goods industries, shrink wrap is an amazing tool. It's customizable, efficient, and protects your products as they travel. It's been an incredibly useful development in the manufacturing space. But if your shrink wrap system isn't working to its full potential, you could be wasting money, time, and manpower. Issues with shrink wrap could even damage your reputation with customers. Common shrink wrap issues tend to fall back on three items: temperature, time, and pressure. So listen on to assess your shrink wrap status and troubleshoot any common shrink wrap problems you may have with your equipment or line. First up, we have the most common shrink wrap problems. Shrink wrap has an array of uses, from protecting products from moisture and dust to reducing environmental impact and adding retail appeal. But certain problems can pop up, negatively affecting your bottom line. Before you start delving into the troubleshooting process, however, it is best to do a quick test to see if the issues lie with your machinery or the shrink film itself. First, make an empty shrink bag using your existing settings. Second, assess the bag seals. If they're good, the shrink film may just be sized incorrectly for the product. If they're bad, it's a mechanical issue, and you can move on to figuring out what component needs to be fixed or adjusted. Temperature issues, either too hot or too cold, cause the most common shrink wrap problems. Sometimes, problems are caused by a combination of temperature, pressure, and time. So listen on to see how you can fix what's gone awry. When it comes to troubleshooting temperature, there are a few items of consideration. If temperature is the issue, it will likely show itself in a number of ways. As a first step, it's best to identify your sealer's perfect temperature. To do this, run the sealer at its lowest possible temperature until the film won't cut. Then, raise the temperature from 5 degrees Fahrenheit to 20 degrees Fahrenheit until consistent seals are reached at the chosen line speed. Now, let's review some common shrink wrap problems related to temperature. 1. Flat films not coming off the roll. When layers of flat film stick together, it's called blocking. Usually the film has been in excessive storage temperatures, which causes it to fuse together. 2. Jagged seals or incomplete cutoffs. Seals that look torn, incomplete, or jagged suggest that the seal temperatures are too low. Try turning the heat up in 25-degree increments until the film has a clean seal and sharp cutoff. 3. Shrink bags taking too long to seal. Dwell time, or how long it takes for the film to seal when the seal jaws are closed, varies. If dwell times are rising, it suggests that the temperature is too low, and vice versa. 4. Strands known as angel hair start showing up near the seal. Strands that look like hair can appear between the sealed shrink film and the sealing mechanism. These are caused by the sealing wire or seal bar not being hot enough. 5. Smoking film or buildup. Smoking and polymer buildup on a pad demonstrates excessive heat. Worn pads can also create polymer buildup in smoking. It's best to reduce excessive sealing head pressure and align them. 6. Whitened film or burn holes on packaging. This is likely due to overheated film. In this case, you should increase conveyor speeds and reduce tunnel temperatures. Also check for too much air velocity, improperly directed airflow, or clog screens in the tunnel, all of which can lead to package rejects. Lastly, make sure the film does not touch the walls or ceiling of the tunnel. 7. Weak seals or pinholes. Small brittle seals, frequently with pinholes or open areas, suggest that the seal temperature is too hot. When that's the case, film will typically crystallize near the seal area. Look for parallel white lines at about 1/16 of an inch from the seal. 8. Ballooning film. The balloon effect occurs when the shrink film is exposed to hot air after sealing. The air inside of the bag expands and causes the shrink film to blow up. This can be addressed by using film with vent holes, aka pre-perforated film, which allows air to escape as the film shrinks around the product. 9. Wrinkled or sagging film. If you're seeing wrinkles or sags, which are known as crow's feet, at the corners of packages, slow the conveyor, increase the tunnel temperatures, decrease air evacuation, and redirect the airflow to the saggy spots. You can also try using a lower number of perforations, or placing them in different areas of the package. 10. Fish eyes. This term refers to round or oval patterns on the surface of plastic on a package that was shrunk poorly due to the lack of heat. Turn up the tunnel temperature and speed up the conveyor a little bit. It's also possible that you'll need to reduce airflow and use slightly less film around the package. 11. Machine shocks. Machine shocks mean static electricity is at work or electrostatic discharge, also known as ESD. Matted film, film tracking, and tension issues can also be caused by static. To check for the presence of static, hold a small piece of film about 1 inch from a conductive surface, like the machine's frame. If the film is attracted to the surface, it is charged. As a fix to this issue, keep the equipment grounded by using 3-prong plugs. Also, ensure the machine frame is connected to a grounding source, such as a metal pipe or a drain. Polished or shiny surfaces can produce static and create film drag, but you can solve this problem by roughing them up with sandpaper. Static eliminators are also an option. Next up, we have troubleshooting time issues. When timing isn't right with the machinery settings, certain problems will frequently pop up with shrink wrap. These include the following items. 1. Flaps of film along seal corners. To reduce the appearance of what are known as dog ears, increase air evacuation by making sure perforations are strategically placed. Also, cut down your bag size. Then, slow the conveyor speed while increasing the air velocity and tunnel temperature. Lastly, redirect the tunnel's airflow to the ends of the package. 2. Curled or damaged products. If the film is damaging the product, it is often related to tunnel parameters or overly aggressive film force. Try allowing more film around the package, increasing the conveyor speed, turning down the temperature, and reducing airflow. If that does not work, consider switching to a lower energy film with a more gentle shrink force. 3. Seals failing in the tunnel. If this is happening, check the package to reduce film tension near the seal area. Increase airflow through different perforations or increase the size of the shrink bag. Next, check the tunnel to make sure all intake screens are clear of melted polymer, heater banks are properly working, blowers are turned the right way, and temperature controls are functional. Next up, we have troubleshooting pressure and tension. Pressure is a key factor when it comes to adjusting your machinery. Improper seal pressure or tension can cause common shrink wrap problems. If you're seeing any of the following issues, pressure is likely a factor. 1. Seals are uneven or show voids. Seal jaw pressure is perfected when machines are built, but worn parts or misaligned jaws can affect it over time. As a test, put a white piece of paper in the seal area and engage the jaws to lower and seal. If the pressure is even, a uniform line should be formed on the paper. If that line is dotted or has gaps, the jaws may have maintenance issues. If lines in the film clamp area aren't parallel, it means one of the film clamps may be hitting off the pad. 2. Split seals. This can be caused by film that is too thin, or a bad roll of film. Check to make sure it doesn't have unnecessary perforations or holes, or that the perforations are properly placed. Clean your sealing wire and make sure it's at the right temperature. In addition, check the clamp to make sure it's applying pressure evenly. 3. Bad cross seals. In semi-automatic and automatic L-bar machines, increase the bag length or put more spacing between packages to get the cross seal tension free. Moving on from there, we have some tips to help you set up your packaging line for success. In order to ensure the success of your packaging line and avoid common shrink wrap problems, it's crucial to make sure your temperature, pressure, and timing are all optimal. Proper storage for your shrink film is also key. It's important to know the specific requirements of the products you're using, but in general, shrink packaging is best stored in temperatures between 30 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. You are also going to want to consider getting an audit of your packaging line. Here's how an audit can help. If you're facing any of these issues with your finished product, or you just want to ensure your line is running at peak efficiency, consider getting an audit, also known as an analysis. Packaging film tests can save you thousands of dollars and improve your operation across the board. These audits are free and only take about 30 minutes of downtime on your line. If you audit frequently and make adjustments as needed, you'll optimize your entire operation. All of the common shrink wrap problems can be overcome, but it's important to identify what the issues are and call on the experts when needed. That way, you're maximizing efficiency, producing optimal products, and ensuring your company maintains a glowing reputation with your clients and consumers. And that does it, folks. We have reached the end of yet another episode of the Industrial Packaging Podcast with me, your host, Nathan Dube, Digital Marketing Specialist at Industrial Packaging. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I also hope that you will come back for the next one, in which we will be discussing the different types of flexible pouches. But until then, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.